Hey, how's it going? This video is for guys who are not tiny chested, so like actually borderline for Peri surgery, which is to say like B or C cup, whose first priority isn't aesthetics. Aesthetics not too important for me because I live in the north. I don't show my chest off. I wouldn't show my chest off a whole lot, and honestly, a lot of guys in the world have really funky looking chests. They just accept it. People, I mean, more guys, certainly more guys in the world, and certainly more guys over 25, have funky looking chests with, like, saggy nipples and little man boobs and stuff, versus Abercrombie chests. That's just the way it is. I'm 20, almost 29, so I can accept not having a perfect looking chest. My biggest goal is retention of normal sensation in my chest. So that's protective or tactile sensation, and then also erogenous sensation, which I don't personally use right now, but who knows what the future may hold, right? Once after I get surgery, and getting a Peri as opposed to a DI, especially unless you get one of those like T surgery DIs where they thread the nipple through. Anyway, in general, a Peri increases your chances of retaining full sensation. So it's never, ever, ever guaranteed. But, there's things you can do to maximize your chances, right? And the problem is that if you have a chest that's not an A cup, a lot of surgeons, most surgeons will hesitate to give you a peri-areolar surgery, top surgery, because honestly the results are not going to be perfect looking. Which means that I need to shrink my chest a little bit in order to be eligible for peri-areolar surgery. And so that of course involves shrinking the fatty and the glandular tissue, which happens kind of on its own when you take testosterone and also focus on losing a little bit of weight. And but it also means retracting the skin and, I don't know, maybe the suspensory ligaments or something. And so I researched it up on the internet, and there's a few different things that I've chosen to do, and I'm going to tell you them because they seem to be working. Well, first of all, let me see if I can find one. I wear industrial bras all the time. I mean, all the time. Sorry about this, even in the showers. There was a study done not too long ago. Some French dude was like, do bras prevent boob sagging? And he found that bras actually increase the saggage of boobs, as measured by the distance probably between the shoulder and the nipple. But the thing is, he found with one bra it sagged a lot, and one bra it sagged a little, and then no bras and everything was perky or something. Awkward. But the thing is, with most bras, they're not very effective. Like, if you actually notice what they do, they don't lift a whole lot, unless maybe you got a Wonder Bra. I don't know. I think they provide a feeling of support, a feeling of support without a whole lot of actual support. They provide shaping and a feeling of support, without actual, like, counter-gravity effects. And so the problem with that is, if you're feeling supported but you're not actually supported, I can see how that would end up with your daily activity and whatnot, end up increasing saggage. So what I did is I took an industrial sports bra. Yeah, this is really awkward now. Judged by, I grabbed the top and I was like, how stretchy is that? Not very stretchy. And I was like, this isn't helping that much. And so I took out about 4 inches. I'm not exactly a good sewer, but I took out about 4 inches of strap and then sewed it back together. So then it became like super duper like tight, and I realized not too long later that I was like strangling myself. Like when you remove the straps, the bra gets slid up your body, and then since your body gets wider, the feeling is that it gets tighter. So I found a cool way to loosen a bra strap. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, but I took 2 paper clips and I threaded them through the hook part, and then wrapped them in duct tape, and now this edge, it connects perfectly with the other, with the bra snap part. So that's a long lasting way to expand your bra if you ever need, like, if you're wearing a bra, a bigger band size. So I wear that plus some industrial, like, stretchy thing, and not a binder, just a sports bra, and and that actually, I think I'm gonna attribute some of the shrinkage of skin that I've had to that, to wearing a bra all the time, not letting my chest get that feeling that it's being stretched. So while I'm sleeping, I wear a lighter bra. When I'm in the shower, I wear a bra. When I'm everything. Okay, so I think that actually might help. An industrial bra or two all the time, as opposed to a binder, which can, I think, stretch out some of the skin as it squishes it. And I also use DMAE cream. I have no idea what DMAE is. Dimethyl, God knows what. I read on examine.com, which is an awesome website if you're wanting to learn about supplements, that DMAE is one of the very few things that we've seen that actually, for whatever reason, tightens up skin. And so whenever I remember, I use this twice a day. And I recommend this brand, Skin Eternal DMAE Firming Body Lotion, because its third ingredient is DMAE. And all kinds of creams will say DMAE, and it's like their 10th ingredient, which means they're like 2% or less or something, which is ridiculous. So DMAE cream and industrial bra, really, I think I can attribute some actual shrinkage to cream. The only other thing that I've done with any kind of semi-consistency is taking gelatin. You can also read about that on examine.com, I believe. And gelatin is basically collagen. It's like boiled from boiled animal skin or something. It's gross. But it helps your skin retract. I started using Knox gelatin, then they found out this stuff was cheaper. Knox doesn't taste like much. This tastes kind of like a rawhide bone, which isn't that bad, actually. I mean, you mix it with something. Rawhide bones are actually pretty mild. So this is now real food gelatin. And then I ordered online this stuff, and this stuff tastes like straight up dog. It's true, it's but I'm eating it anyway. And you just mix it with like tea and sugar and a word of warning about gelatin in general as a supplement. Goofy hair today. A word of warning about gelatin is if you take it the right way, which is to say maybe with like no sugar and don't eat anything for a couple hours afterwards, it can really dramatically boost your human growth hormone levels. And everyone likes human growth hormone, right? That sounds good. But the problem is that if you're not taking testosterone yet, biological women have been known to try to boost their human growth hormone levels in order to increase the size of their boobs. So it might be counterproductive if you're not on T yet. If you are on T, then hopefully your testosterone is dominating over your estrogen, and HGH won't combine synergistically with the estrogen in your chest to make your chest bigger, because that would suck. And I mean, there's a chart. I'll link to the chart. There's a chart that shows the effect of gelatin on HGH levels versus whey protein versus other substances, and gelatin is like top of the, it's alanine or something, so whatever amino acid concentration or ratio it has is very conducive to creating a big boost in HGH, and this really works because, well, based on the observation that when I take it before nighttime, it makes my hands weak in the morning, like it used to, like when I was a kid. And people who are taking supplemental HGH, they get swelling in their carpal tunnel area, which causes that same effect. So I'm guessing it actually has that effect in real people, not just in the lab. So don't take it before you're taking testosterone to shrink your boobs, unless you take measures to make sure that it's not boosting your HGH, which is to say eat like, I don't know, carbohydrates with it after it for 2 hours. I don't know, I learned that from the Hodge twins, HGH and sugar don't go along. Don't hate me for that. It's also a little bit questionable to use while you're on testosterone, especially while your junk is growing, because if this helps skin retract because of all the collagen it contains, helps tissues retract. Your corpus cavernosum, which you have, and your tunica, which you also have, everyone has them, which, I mean, they're typically known as penile anatomy, but it doesn't matter how you're born, you got one. They're made of collagen mostly. So I think it's possible that something like this, since it retracts tissue made of collagen, helps them retract, it could potentially hinder dick expansion for trans men whose dicks are growing. So, take collagen, take it or leave it. It's up to you. Or gelatin. But I use it personally right now, and I might not in the future. We'll see. But definitely super tight bras. It's terrible. You look like you're wearing a push-up bra all the time. You can't see it. You do when you're wearing a bra. And I work a job where nobody sees me. And if I'm going out in public, then I put on a binder or something. But in the meantime, I'm just trying to help my skin retract. And it's totally working. Because like 2 months ago, I took a picture. 3 months ago, I took a picture of my chest and sent it off to Fisher. She was like, "Yeah, I don't recommend you for getting a Peri." But I think the real thing was that like the infra boob line. Okay, so here's like the boob and it hangs down, and there is like, and here's your chest wall, and there was a little bit of overlap where the skin was touching the chest, the boob skin was touching the chest wall skin, and so I think that's probably why she was like, "Yeah, you're not a good candidate." So that was a few months ago, and having followed this DMAE super tight or super supportive bra all the time routine, now my skin doesn't do that anymore. If you go to Wikipedia, there's an article about ptosis, and I literally went, so far as I can tell, from the one that looks like this, from like number 4 or something, to number 3 that looks like that. From here to there. So those 3 things actually work. Some things that I've considered, and maybe I'd do if I had more time and more energy, I think green tea might help. Actually, I drank that already. Maybe icing, putting ice all over your chest. Not enough to freeze it. We're not talking like lipocryotherapy here, but just enough to get the blood flowing. I don't know. I just heard good things about that. People say rebounding. That's like jumping on a trampoline, like a mini trampoline, and I think that could help. That could definitely get your lymph flowing. Like you got lymph nodes, I guess, in your pits, and they flow to everywhere, the lymph, and having good, if you're trying to get skin to retract, having good flow of nutrients in and toxins out seems like it actually would be a positive thing. So I've tried it a little bit. I wouldn't personally dare do it without a lot of support. And then dry brushing. You'd have to Google that one. But you run the brush along the skin and it aids circulation. I also don't recommend dry brushing pre-T, especially if you don't use your chest sexually, because it will no doubt stimulate the glandular tissue and the nerves underneath, which have been known to increase glandular growth. Like this one crew of dudes who did like these rifle drills, and they're like bang with like their rifle, and they just like kept banging their chest with their rifle. Like half of them grew gynecomastia on their chests because of the stimulation. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend anything that involves a lot of manual stimulation to your chest before testosterone, especially because and limited in general, because it can stimulate growth. That's it. So that's it. Maybe I'll come back in 3 months or something and tell you about how it's continued or hasn't continued to work, and what I finally do for surgery. I'm looking at medically now. So yeah, industrial bra all the time, DMAE cream, and gelatin. Those are the ones that may definitely help. Although gelatin, caveat emptor, whatever that means, careful, especially pre-T or when it comes to dick growth. then also there's ice, trampolining, green tea, dry brushing, which might or might not work, but they all seem kind of reputable. Alright, that's it. I hope it was helpful to someone.